All right, 4 of you. Thanks for
Yes.
coming. Welcome aboard. How you guys doing?
Welcome aboard the motor vessel Blackfin. This is the newest vessel in our fleet, just 3 years ago. This was in Hawaii. Everybody that came aboard got a lei around their neck. They were served a mojito or a mai tai. No longer do we have that aloha spirit, sorry about that. Hey, look at the sea otters behind us. Right in front of that yellow kayak. Not quite on shore, but you'll see a yellow mast on that sailboat, pretty far, but towards that highway behind us. We do use the clock system, by the way. The front of the boat would be the 12 o'clock. That's the bow. The stern is behind us. That's our 6 o'clock. You'll hear and see our twin John Deere diesel engines. Maybe not see them, but see the churn behind us. So folks, if you see something interesting like a whale spouting, give a shout, tell your fellow shipmates. 3 o'clock is to your right. Both the words right and 3 have 5 letters. Port left and 9 is at 9 o'clock to have 4 letters. Beautiful spinning circles. This is our sister vessel, the Point Sir Clipper. Captain Mike was the one who just sent out a photograph. They actually saw a great white shark in the sea. Just completely surprising, not expected. We only see great white sharks maybe once or twice a year. Hey folks, look at all the wildlife here, dear lads. This is a great time if you want to get your cameras out. Maybe get a selfie with Sammy the sea lion here.
So these whales, on average, somewhere around 5 miles per hour. But when they can, or need to, they can pick up the speed and travel just short bursts up to 20 miles per hour. Over at 4 o'clock there, we just saw the mother and the calf pair dive down. Again, you can recognize the calf because it has a fairly new notch taken out of its dorsal fin. You can see the pink-colored flesh. All right, we've got a whale crossing behind us here. So if you're on the back deck below, you can see a whale at 6 o'clock. So this mother and calf pair will actually spend at least 12 to 18 months, sometimes up to 24 months together. For those first 12 months, the calf will be feeding almost exclusively on milk from its mother. It will convert 100 pounds of milk into about 50 pounds of body weight per day. Nothing better to do that than mother's milk. Are 7 individuals, and they are in the midst of a feeding frenzy, which is really exciting to see. And it looks like they're coming towards us here. So if you want to move down on the railing on the left side of the boat, we have some views over here. I know there are quite a few of you on the bow, so there's some space down here on the left side of the boat. So these humpback whales are mysticetes or baleen whales. So they feed on these very small fish. The anchovies are generally only about 3 inches long. And instead of using bony teeth to capture these fish, they use baleen. And baleen's a type of keratin material. You have in their mouth. Keratin is very similar to nails or hair, same material. And baleen allows them to trap these very small fish in their mouths as they feed. We are looking off of our 8 and 9 o'clock at this group here. Beautiful. All right, straight up our 9 o'clock, we just had a mass lunge feed. So what these whales do is swim at high speed toward these small fish. The fish are often collected in what we call a bait ball or a big school. The whales will swim towards them and take an enormous gulp of water and capture the fish in their mouths with the water. So that's what we just saw with that lunge feed. They're taking a big gulp and all working together on it. We're just going to spend some time observing them here. Do listen for their breath as they exhale at the surface. All right, so those of you who are on the front of the boat, it's okay to shimmy on down here the left side. Move on down the left side of the vessel. You're going to get great views of these whales. You come on down the left side. Walk on this way, guys. The left side. You come down off of the bow. Alright, so when we see the tails or the fluke of the animals come up out of the water, that means they're doing a little bit of a dive. go. Big lunch feed at our 7 o'clock. 3 whales there. The amount of whales that we have here today, but we're fairly certain we have at least 10 or 11 right within range of us here, which is pretty exciting. These animals are generally very solitary, with the exception of the mother and her calf. But they will come together for feeding events like this or for breeding. That was beautiful synchronized swimming from our humpbacks at our 10 o'clock. We had 4 of them dive all at once.
5.
I stand corrected, it was 5 both diving at lunch. We had a lunch feed there in front of that boat off to the left, so our 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm just going to pull a little bit forward. We're going to stick with the group that kind of split off here closer to shore. We've got the beautiful sand dunes outside of the town of Marina there in the backdrop. So looking for beautiful photos and videos for you guys. We've got some sea lions coming towards us pretty fast here at our 10 o'clock. When you notice them clear straight out of the water, we call that behavior porpoising. And they usually do that when they're moving fast. One of those whales just coming up here next to us at our 10 o'clock, and we did have one showing up on the right hand side of the boat as well, but stay on. just coming up here next to us at our 10 o'clock, and we do have one showing up on the right hand side of there as well, but stay on the left. We've got good close looks. Alright, so Kevin's got us just pivoting the boat a little bit, and he's going to have these whales mostly on the right hand side. So as you move across the boat, please remember to hold on tight to the whales for the front teeth. Go nice and slow.
Wow.
So again, that was a really great view of those ventral pleats as those animals came up for that giant lunge feed. That last animal that died down was a female. You may be able to notice some brown marks in the water there. That is what we call a fecal plume, or simply whale poop. Now, these fecal plumes are super important to the marine ecosystem, and it's essentially fertilizer for the seed. So these whales feed in mass quantities, and so they do produce a lot of excrement, and that helps fertilize and support the growth of plankton, and plankton being at the core of the marine food web. These whales do play a really important role to help those plankton. Beautiful lunch there again, 2 o'clock. This is fantastic. This is so amazing to see lunge after lunge after lunge. Very special trip. I'm so excited for you guys to have this opportunity.
Yeah, but that's how long the trip back is. So maybe leave soon. The trip over here? Yeah, the trip over here did it for
Alright, so they did dive down again, so keep an eye out, guys. Let's keep our cameras trained in that direction.
This will be the good stuff. Why, you see it pointed out ASAP. Just point and I'll see your finger. Yeah. And I'm looking straight ahead. You look to the side. Cool, I got like a little bit of a pattern. I'll be beautiful.